Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. My name is Luciano and we have...
And Roberto,
So today we want to try something a little bit different than usual. We generally do live stream about Rust and things that are somewhat related to Rust. Today we want to try something a little bit different because we are a bit crazy, especially Roberto. we decided to give Zig a shot.
this time we are quite crazy.
But the truth is that we know almost anything about Zig. I mean, we know that it's a language that exists and is trying to somewhat compete with C, or anyway, it's kind of a compiled low-level language. But that's the extent of our knowledge. I think that Roberto's done some very lightweight experiments. At least he has installed the compiler. I don't think I have
Yeah,
done that. So today what we want to try to do is to try to use Zig to create a small Python library. So kind of on the sequel of what we tried to do with Rust last time, where we used Rust to extend the capability of Python and provide some kind of module that could be used from Python to call Rust compiled code. So we want to try to do something similar with Zig and see what's the experience like while trying to do that. If you know anything about Zig, we would appreciate any kind of help because we will definitely need to Google a lot. So any
yes.
help is more welcome than usual. So please do that.
Today we will Google a lot. You will see my browser for a lot of time.
Okay, so I'm going to share your screen and we'll kick it off.
Yeah. So, where do we start from today? Zig, like Luciano said, the replacement for C, so is at the same level of C, so quite low level compared to Rust. Somehow better,
Then
more
C or
modern.
Rust?
Then see, I would not say then Rust. I think they are on a different ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zig is more low level. Then depends how you like to feel pain. I think. Yeah. So, what are we trying to do? We take what we did last time. So it's the same Python code. If let me make the font bigger.
Please.
That'll be big enough.
Maybe an extra point. Yeah, perfect.
Let me change it. Otherwise, I don't see my desk, my file. Last time we have the same parser. The parser is written in Python. It's giving back a dictionary.
Should we say
Then,
very quickly that what we did last time was pretty much an advent of code exercise that was very slow in Python. Therefore, we did
yeah,
it as a Rust Python extension, so to speak, and we managed to
yes,
get it like much faster.
yes. We want to do the same this time, but with Zig. So we have the piece of code that is running the Python solution. So run blueprint written in Python. In parallel, and it should work. So let me try to comment this line out and see if at least it works. Where is it? Yay. Let me make the font bigger even here. Font, please become bigger. I think it's big enough. What do you think, Chano? Big enough?
Seems readable to me, but please chat, let us know if it's not. The only thing is that our faces are overlapping a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think we
Let me
might
try.
have to change the layout and move ourselves to the other side. Yeah, that's better.
Better this
Thank you.
way?
Yeah.
Okay. So same as last time, in parallel, so the order is not guaranteed, but we don't care. He's doing his job and taking his time. The result is the same as last time. It took 29 seconds, not 10. And we want to write the same algorithm in Zig, and we want to be faster than 29 seconds and have the same result. So yeah, our test is we want the same result. First, what we look at to do this, there was a repository. There are various ways of calling Zig from Python. We are going for a low-level way because to do the more fancy way, so just import this, run this, like we did last time with PyO3 for Rust.
Mm-hmm.
To do that kind of fanciness, I have no idea how to build Zig or how to write a build Zig file that gives me that kind of abstraction. So we go a little bit one level lower than that, and we don't have that kind of abstraction. So we will write a little bit more code. And we can see if we can make it better later. We found online this example of calling zig from Python through CFFI. Just to show a simple example, this is a function in Zig that is computing the square root, exporting that as a function. You can compile that with Zig. You will have out of the compilation step a .so file, so it's a compiled binary for the platform you compile it against. In Python, with CFFI, you can load the binary. Here you declare what is the interface of the function inside the binary. And for this reason, I'm saying that we go a little bit low level, because in theory, this step and this step could be automated. So you don't have to do this in your Python code. But for now, we are doing this because we don't know how to automate this. And at that point, you can call the function that you exported, the exported square root, from the module simple, and it works. I can show you that it works. We go here and we go inside this folder. We can do a zig build dynamic simple zig. It was already built, so it took nothing. And then you can run Python simple, and it's computing the square root of 2. So here is a simple example of Python calling a compiled zig file. Now we want to die, and we want to write our algorithm in Zig, the one that we did last time in Rust, and is also written in Python. We will keep the Python one as a reference, and we will try to write that. This implies that we need a vector or a deque, but we were looking how to import libraries, because it seems that there is not a deque in the core library of Zig, so probably we will start with a vector or an array. I have not exactly idea what Zig can provide us, but anyway, a struct, the same struct that we did last time in Python, can be in Rust, can be useful to get back to keep our state. We need a hash set or a set. Do we have a set in Zig? I don't know. We will Google it. But back to us. Let's start simple. We take the simple file from Zig. We make a copy here. We call it, we rename it in what is
I like that you didn't even install the syntax coloring plugin.
Probably it could install it. What? There is an extension? Yeah, probably 8,000. Ooh, 8,000 installed. I have to say that the ecosystem is a little bit.
Well, it's still a very early language, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, we recommend enabling. Look, enable what you want. If I crash and I go in blue screen, you know it's the Zig fault.
Yeah, I will tell some jokes until you are back.
Oh, Zig 09 is older than Zig 011.
We have a new follower, Hello K
It
Bono.
happens.
Thank you for following us. How are you today?
Let me think a moment, because I made a mess installing Zig, obviously, because there is not an installer. There is just a package that you take out of the internet. Let me see if I can remove this binary. Let's make a symbolic link. I never remember in which direction you are doing symbolic link.
Don't ask me.
Okay, see, I was able to make it. My God, I got it right. Incredible.
Good job.
Absolutely luck. So back to us. Now, instead of calling this simple, I lied. This instance.
Nice.
This can be, let's say, X19, because luck, because we have any kind of fantasy. This is called the zig run. We uncomment this call. Save. Call this zig run. We cheat a little bit. We don't pass a Python dictionary this time, like we did in Rust last time, because I have no idea how to take in input a Python dictionary from Zig. So instead, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 integers plus 1, so 7 integers, and we take in input 7 integers. That
okay, fair enough.
U32, what do you think of them?
I don't remember if they get particularly big, but I don't think so, right? So probably U32 is 5.
With a new 32. Remember to use the correct.
Meanwhile, K Bon on the chat is asking us how are we doing today, and I think today we are feeling a little bit masochists because, as you could see, we decided to try a new language that we never tried before. So what can possibly go wrong?
Around everything. So what is the shortcut to select selection next to currents? Control D. I did Control D. Why is not?
Yellow typed reflections. Yeah, have you tried Zig already? Because if you have, we will definitely use some help.
Yeah, for sure. Oops. So here, what are we doing? I saved a formatted back to what it was. Thank you.
Okay, so there is an automatic formatter. We know that now.
That is not liking when parameters are on multi-line and put everything back in one line. I enabled the word wrap so we can see all the code. Let's start see. For now, our code. This was written by something, not me. Why?
Oh, cool. So it kind of, I suppose it forces you to actually use the variables you are declaring as arguments and also to provide an output. So it's kind of, yeah.
Okay. Don't know. Let's try to see if we can compile return 0 and call it. Okay. That would be already a big achievement in my opinion. Also because we have to write the Python counterpart for this. Python counterpart for this is importing. Okay, let's try to compile. In theory, it should be easy. Okay, that's the famous word. Big build dynamic exercise 19. We have an exercise 19 SO here. Cool. Okay, we have it. Now let's use it. How do we use it? There's a little bit of boilerplate to implement. Again, because we don't know how to compile, how to build in the proper way the Zig extension, but let's put it randomly here.
Okay, Bono is saying that he saw that Zig means, well, it's meant to help to extend the life of C and C++ projects. I'm curious to know if you saw that in some kind of official documentation or somebody else.
Yeah, but it's not extending my life from what I know from now. Yeah, I'm making a mess in the Python 5. Don't look at my Python. Here we are really experimenting. I take the function definition. I have to take. But this is a C-like Python, C-like definition. It's not Zig. Well, anyway, if this is a C, CDEF is for C. I remember nothing about C, guys.
So you need to specify the signature of the function in C. Is that what you need to do?
It seems so. Seems so.
Well, it would make sense.
I don't remember if uint is the right syntax anyway. Can you Google it through channel in the meantime if uint is the right way of defining? I've seen U32 in C, and probably the answer is no, you are just stupid. But we can do a search and replace.
So what do we have? 32 bits unsigned, right? That's what we want.
Yeah. I'm ready with the multi-cursor to write what you are going to tell me.
What I'm seeing here is unsigned long.
Unsigned underline long?
No, unsigned space long, but it's not convincing.
No, it can be.
Can be 2 words in C?
Yeah. So, Python. Okay, we import x19. We call from x19 zig run with the right number of parameters, probably. And we got back an integer. So what happened if I call it?
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see if we have the scaffolding right.
What is your guess about our scaffolding?
It's gonna segfault. Let's see. Well,
yeah, the chat is saying uint 32. So let's try again. Please try again. Yeah, and trying again. Oh, okay, what's happening? I know what's happening. I'm an idiot because this is called libx19.so.
Okay, so it's exploding to load the library. Well, now it explodes in different way.
Cannot parse before the run. So instead of uint 32, let's try again unsigned long.
That's what I'm seeing on Wikipedia, but also I'm very bad with C, so don't trust me on that.
I did C last time, I think 20 years ago. No, he's complaining about something. What is complaining about? What's happening here?
So there is a parse error, cdef source string. So it is definitely failing to parse this definition, right?
Yeah. Okay, let me look. What is it? Ah, the semicolon.
Damn.
Okay.
Cool.
We were able to call it.
And the
in
numbers make sense, right? They
the
are
numbers are all 0. So, okay, scaffolding. Done. Just out of curiosity, I will try again UE32, like the suggestion in chat. And if it's not working, I revert back to this one, okay?
uint32.
Yeah, but I have to learn to write int. Inner, int. Okay. My God, keyboard are hard. No, doesn't like.
There is also uint32 underscore t, which no idea what that underscore t means.
Unsigned long seems to be happy. We stay with unsigned long and we make it happy.
Okay, let's trust Wikipedia.
Now, let's trust Wikipedia. Now, scaffolding ready. In theory, we should be able to. We just do this. Okay, we can comment this. We are calling them in parallel with 8 workers, like last time, and blah blah blah. No, let's have fun. Let's go back to the Python algorithm. What we were doing in Python. Extracting max clay and obsidian were not needed in reality. We need max R. Max R. Max R is the maximum between. So, how do you declare a variable in?
Good question. Let's start with that.
It seems with var.
Makes sense. There is also a const there, so maybe it's like mutable and immutable.
In reality, the max is not. I don't care if it is mutable or immutable. It can be unmutable because it's not changing through the execution. There is a max function. What do you think?
I'm just looking at variable. Wait.
This is the max int they want. Well, let's write.
It is generally preferable to use const rather than var when declaring variables. This causes less work for both humans and computers to do when reading the code. Why? And creates more optimization opportunities.
Obviously.
But it doesn't explain what's the difference between const and var. I mean, I am making an assumption that const is immutable and var is mutable.
Yeah, me too.
It would have been nice to see that in the docs.
So there is a function to have a max from. Oh yes, if I remember correctly, is an alias type from C header. It's been long since last time. Yeah, everybody is not touching C from. Now, question for Luciano: how do we get the max from 4 integers?
Nice. Okay, let me use all my Google skills.
Yeah. In the meantime, I will go on writing code, and Luciano will convert my pseudocode in real code.
Yeah, I mean, we can try ChatGPT if Zig is not too new for ChatGPT.
Oh God, I don't know. But easy. Next step is already creating a struct and a queue. You can create a struct. Struct. Let's go with copy and paste from the document. This time we created our state. They were all. Let me see if I can open directly the old. Sorry if I take a shortcut. You open Rust code. They steal from there. You open the Python code where. The Rust code where. Okay.
So there is a max and a min functions, but they can only compare 2 values. We want to compare more, right? We have 4 values.
Oh, I can chain calls. I'm not shy.
Yeah. I guess let's do it that way for now, and we'll figure it out.
And is max with capital M, lowercase m, what?
No, we need to import. Let me find it again. Sorry, I switched. Then there you go. I think it's std.mat.min and std.mat.max. But I suppose that means we need to import std or not.
Yeah, const std import.
Oh, we already have std, so you can probably just do std.mat.min.
Okay. In the meantime, I copy and pasted the Rust code for state. The difference between Rust and Zig is that const state equals structure instead of struct state. But for the rest, the syntax is the same. So it's just slightly different. Let's get rid of the Rust code because it's not happy about it. So this is just std.max and it's taking unused local constant. Give me a moment.
It's std.mat.max.
.mat.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is also an std.max.
Good.
Not complain.
So I found a conversation on GitHub from 2018, so maybe that was old.
Google if there is a std max. In the meantime, I just keep it. Oh, now the variable are not unused anymore, so there is not underline anymore, but the new one is unused because I just declared it.
Ooh, there is even a at max, at as the at symbol.
You mean like this?
Like this. I don't know if it needs to be imported. I'm seeing this in the documentation. I have no idea.
Yeah, but it seems it takes 2 parameters, but at this point I will just do a lot of them. Close enough parentheses to make everybody.
Yeah. Meanwhile, type reflection is saying immutable or not reassignable. Which one? Const means immutable unless you are in JavaScript, and that's why I'm always skeptical about what const var let mean, because in JavaScript we know it's not really constant, right?
Yeah. Okay. Seems happy about this. Now we want to declare our var stack, and here we need to start to look how you declare a vector array in Zig.
Mm-hmm.
So where is documentation? What can we use from? We know nothing about Zig, so here everything is.
Yeah, there must be vector. There is arrays, but probably those have fixed size if it's like Rust.
We are assuming a lot here if it is like Rust. Seems like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I was looking at the same page, but there is vectors just a little bit lower. There you go. Yeah.
So let's see if, well, it wants a size for the vector. The first parameter seems a size. Vector have a compile time, no length, and base type. Yeah, no. We want
Right. We want dynamic sized collection of some kind.
Exactly. So what's the difference between a vector and an array then, if both of them are know at compile time? Very interesting.
Okay. This is our first big blocker. If we cannot even do a vector, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I was trying to understand. I'm not going to have a pointer, allocate memory, and that kind of stuff, guys. I'm not going down that route. I did that already too much in my past.
Well, we'll probably need to do some kind of allocation, right, for a vector. Now, I don't know if it's going to be automatic or...
I was hoping a language in 2023, even if it's a C replacement, should do that for me.
Okay, so we have MVUI or MVU1, sorry, in the chat saying that we need an array list. So that's a very good suggestion. Let's figure out where is some documentation for that.
Let's figure out what is an array list. And if we have to import a module and other stuff that we don't know how to do.
Oh no, there is an std.ArrayList. Okay, that's good. But I'm struggling to figure out if there is a per module documentation, because I'm just finding random examples in the box. Data structures such as std_ArrayList accept an allocator parameter in their initializer functions, right? I probably have some code. 1 second. Oh, thank you. Also, if you have a link on basically pointing to the actual official documentation of ArrayList or any other pointer on what's the best way to find docs for Zig, that will be highly appreciated. Yeah, interesting that we need to think about allocators now.
So probably something like this. There must be a standard page allocator with an allocator, and this is an array list of our type that we already created. So let's try to just copy this.
I love this comment. Let me put it on screen. Gotta read the source code. Documentation is not the strong point. Well, I mean, again, I don't want to be too critic on a language that is still fairly new, and probably there is still a lot to do there. But as a developer experience, of course, that creates friction right now for us.
Oh yeah, but it could be that we failed miserably today, guys.
Of course, yeah, we cannot always succeed. We rarely succeed, to be fair. So
a lot of time we just crash badly. So let's have we have our deque. We have to push it into one stack state object. So it's a stack append, and how do I declare?
By the way, we have an amazing example in the chat. If you go there, I don't know if you can get it.
No, I can't get it. Sorry, because I don't have
this. I can send it to you in a private channel if that helps.
No, it doesn't have.
Okay, I can tell you how to do it then. So we need to create an array list, which is basically const array list.
Well,
that you.
we have to push and pop, so it can be a const.
I think you did most of the work.
No, but I mean, it's a var or a const. So this, because we are adding and removing in Rust, this will be immutable for sure. Because
yes, in this example is a const. I suppose then it's similar to JavaScript, where const is like const binding, but not immutable. Big assumption.
yeah, but let's we can try to change it later. Also, another super question, super important, is start state camel case or snake case? So like this or like that?
What I see here is camel case. Sorry, it's snake case. What I see in these
Okay.
examples. So.
Oh, let's stick with. Oh, at least I have some.
Oh, nice. Apparently, right now there is a live stream where they are working on the Zig documentation. So if they are still on, we'll do a raid to them in the end.
Well, ask them to join us.
Or we can ask them to join us and help.
Guys, I will make super stupid questions. You have to write documentation that can fulfill my stupid questions. If you do that, your documentation will be beautiful.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing the link about Christoph's stream. We'll definitely do a raid to them.
So our initial state is no, we need at least one or robot. Sorry, let's not start with the proxy state.
Also,
Otherwise
apparently,
we go
Zig
nowhere.
will throw an error if we use the right casing. So probably similar to Go, which is very picky when it comes to.
Okay.
Oops, sorry, I highlighted the wrong one.
Now we are here. We are at having the queue. In reality, we have an array list, but who cares? Now, do we have a set?
Good question. Do we have a set? I am afraid about the answer. No sets, only HashMaps. Well, we can recreate a set.
Oh, well, we have an HashMap. Yeah, we care all about the key and we go to an integer. So our key is the state.
But how do we do an HashMap? Do you know that? Yeah, you know that. You have already an example there.
K type. So it's the type of the key and it's the state. Let's see if we can use state as a key because it's struct. Type Boolean is a Boolean lowercase b, probably. Then context. What the fuck is a context? And max load percentage.
Oh, there is. Wait. There is something simpler. You can use auto HashMap. So replace HashMap with auto HashMap.
std.auto
with uppercase A, yeah. And then
okay.
I'm also seeing that you can pass rather than Boolean, you can pass void.
Cool.
So probably I don't know.
Okay.
Then you need to call .init after that, and then pass the allocator that you were using before, std testing.
Allocator. Is the same allocator from here, std heap page allocator.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing the examples they use std.testing.allocator, but I have no idea if there is a difference. Also, interesting point. So it looks similar to Go for certain things. After the allocator, after the initialization, they call defer, and then they call a de-init on that. So defer space scene.deinit. Yep.
And the same, I suppose, for the stack, or is not needed for the stack. There is a de-init on the stack. Let's see what it tells me. De-init, there is a de-init. Yeah, that's the fair also. This de-init, now what he's complaining about, some semicolon. Because it's var, not vat. Okay, and all of them are unused. Yeah, I know, don't bother. Now, we declared a bunch of variables. While there are elements in the stack, what is the more Zig way of doing that? Do we care about? Do we have the while in Zig? Another good
question. Control structures in Zig.
They should be somewhere here. Come on, primitive. Because, for example, in Go there is on before.
There is definitely a while.
Okay, while.
Yeah, while and parentheses, so it's exactly like C.
Okay, is it like C? Cool. While it will be stack len. No, stack dot len. sides.
I wonder if there is a function we'll need to call to get the sides.
We are so dumb, guys.
Sorry, this must be the most painful stream ever, also for you.
So you can feel our pain, basically. No. Well, let's go back to write some code. Okay, let's pop from
So some data
stack.
structures, they will have .len. I'm
I
finding
try
another.
with .len. So const our state.
I think I see now. Wait a second.
Pop. But I want to pop from left. So how do I pop? Can I specify the index? No, it doesn't take parameters. It doesn't take parameters. So it's not pop. Append. Okay, thank you. Don't ensure expand init move size. Okay, time to Google. And this is an array list. So it's a zig array list pop left, if it's possible. Okay, append. I like it. 0. I can take the first element, but then I have to remove it. So how can I remove it from an array list? First element.
Sorry, Roberto. Quick thing: if you do whatever we call our list .items, then do you have .len?
Is a function or a property?
No, I think a property.
A property. Okay, so in the meantime, do you also have an idea how to get the first element from here? How to pop pop left, basically, pop the first element. Because pop doesn't take parameters, so it seems that it's always popping at the end.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get one item by index and then delete it, something like that, right?
It will work anyway. Same. I mean, I'm not religious about it. Fine, even if we do that using the items, and then remove the first item from the array list somehow.
Okay, I'm looking for examples.
I will go on writing code in the meantime. It will never compile, but okay. Now, if state in sync compile, how do we check if there is a key in?
So to push, we can use append. Then we can use pop, but not pop left. Damn. Do we have a get? Just a dot get? I wonder. Zig ArrayList source code.
In the meantime, I'm trying to add an element to an hash. To an auto hash. Zig auto hash map add element. Yeah, Zig auto hash map explain it. Yes. Put. Cool.
Okay, there is an ordered remove to remove stuff. Shift left all the elements.
Okay,
That's what we want to remove. Then to get, what do we use to get an item? I'm literally reading the source code. If people are curious, I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
So it is on stack items, called?
Searching for it.
Or directly on stack?
It's direct. I think it's directly in array list, so stack, right?
Yeah.
In our case.
Yeah. Yes. It's called.
Was called something remove.
Ordered remove.
That's the one. Yes.
And it's giving you back a type T. Okay, remove the element at index I, shift element after index I forward.
It returns the item. If it does return the item, it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. What we wanted. In the meantime,
it does perfect. So it's like a pop on position N.
Yeah, it's like a pop, like the pop in Python that takes a parameter that is the index. Contains, tell us if an hash map has it. The put, the value is void. I don't know if I can leave it empty or if I...
Or if we need to pass some kind of void. Let's see.
I don't know. Or we can make this boolean and pass a true. But if there is like open closed brackets in Rust that tells yes, this is empty kind of type. But well, let's go on with our code. Timer equal to time limit.
The canonical way of getting the void value is to use an empty block, which means
like this. Open closed curly brackets, an empty block in theory.
I think so. Yeah, just open and close curly brackets should work.
This is our state dot timer, and this is our state dot resource child, and this is our state resource child. Okay. at this point, probably the Rust code is nearer to the Zig one, so we can copy and paste from Rust instead of copy and pasting from Python. Yeah, for sure is more similar. Let's try to go Rust to Zig. Let's see how it takes to.
We should tell ChatGPT to convert our Rust code to Zig.
I don't trust that a lot. I tried to do that with very bad results. Okay.
Also, I wonder what the at means, like semantically.
Is a macro of some kind.
Could be.
So here there is a little bit of changing the structure of the code, but it's more or less similar. Here we need to add round brackets. And the end in Zig is end, double end, or end written as end?
I wish I knew the answer.
There must be an end somewhere in the if examples. Come on, give me an end. Give me an end. Come on, make an they have to improve the documentation, guys. Will be under comparison, primitives, assignment, and there and here. Okay, operators. If we find operators, operators. Okay, where is the end? This is the bitwise. This is the bitwise. Ah, no, it's written end. Okay, so it's like in Python.
Okay.
It's written end. Okay.
Which I actually don't mind because it's.
I'm fine. I use that in Python.
Yeah.
I prefer, to be honest, I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that I was not knowing what was the operator for end. Now I know. Is end. So, yes, this one is what we want to do. But let's see what we have to change in the syntax. We have our stack. We append instead of pushback, and we declare our state doing state open round open curly, and we close the curly, and we do this. And instead of this, what do we have to pass?
Now, when you call properties on an object, do you have to put the dot in front?
We do robots are equal to this, and we do dot. This is robots clay, and we do like this. Then we have robots obsidian, and we do this. Then we have robots. Oh, this is robots. Robots is equal to this. Then I want this is the resource or. And again, I wrote the wrong stuff. For if you remember, for Rust, we had to create a new function to do this. More easy way. I don't know if there is something similar for Zig, but I will go the stupid way for now.
Yeah, this dot syntax is a bit, I don't know.
But probably there is a way of, but I don't know it. The way to build it more.
No, it's just the dot that is curious to me.
Okay, now we are here. The if in theory is exactly the same except the round brackets and the conversions. So let's.
Oh yeah, do you need to put round brackets around the expression in Zig or not?
Yeah, it seems so. He was complaining, so I can try to not do that, but
okay,
see that he is expecting a round bracket and not found. Here we have to do our state. And again, I have to write all of this. There is a way I can. Oh God, Zig, stay down, sit. I don't want to read it. I can copy. And I remember though where to add the additional one that is in the first line. Cool. Paste, and we need an additional +1 here. Save. I have some extra parentheses somewhere. This is now it's fine. Cool. And this was the created one or with. Okay, he's also fixing the indentation of the comments. Nice. You still there or you fall asleep?
Yes. No, I am still here. I am trying to find some kind of docs for.
Try look if there is a deque in the meantime for our friend instead of the ArrayList. There is a deque because the queue will be better from the performance point of view. At this point, the performance is, if I have this working for me, is already I don't know,
a big win. Yeah,
a big win. Then if we also have some,
I don't see anything obvious in the docs. I only found a library online, so maybe if we have time, we can try to use that library.
Aha, I introduced the bug. I forgot to remove this. He's
Oh,
not happy because
how did you even spot it?
no, it's there. U32. Why is complaining?
Do we need the dot in front of it or state
Operate
dot?
error. Binary operator has white space on one's.
Oh, it wants a space. So if it doesn't
Okay.
format correctly, it's gonna not compile.
But because you can have variable with dashes in the name,
No idea.
I hope not. That would be just ugly, say the least.
Imagine you call something hello minus minus.
No, well, please kill me. Let's go to the Obsidian robot. Obsidian robot. Luckily, we have only 4 of them. So
You have the same stuff in line 183, I thought.
183. We don't. We are not at the 183.
Or was that the Rust one?
Yeah, that is the last one.
Okay, fair enough.
See, this is. So we have to. Tac, tac. Obsidian Rob. Ah, no, sorry. It's sending here. And we have end and end. Now, here we have the state. We have to change one of these to one of these. And
Oh, and
here
now
I
we
can.
need again to do all the dot thingy.
Yeah, but I can copy and paste a lot of it. I will not do this for the resources because here I have to be a little bit more careful. This is the resource or because now we start to remove and I have to add a space because otherwise it's going to blow in my face.
Did you have a +1 in line 114?
No, because here we are creating the obsidian robot, not the clay robot. The clay robot was the one above. Oh, look, if there is a bug, we will for sure is here somewhere. So.
Oh, also, apparently we have a typo somewhere. Chat is saying we have a ANS rather than AND.
Ah, yeah, thank you. Don't worry, I'm terrible at
Perfect.
writing.
Thank you
Not
for
like
spotting that.
not like it's my work, right?
Our
It's
cat
like
is
Priest.
sleeping.
It's like with Priest. You have to say what to do what I say, not what I do. Okay, save. Doesn't complain. Formatted, so in theory the syntax is correct. And we are at our last robot. We did Obsidian and we have to do Geld. And then, guys, we can try to see if it. Are we returning something? Yeah, 0, but we have to return the right stuff. So let's remember to. We have to return. Yeah. Do that before we forget. And let's go back here. We need to open here, close here, make this an end. Cool. This is end. Change in append. Yeah, here, and here. I forgot everywhere to. Yeah, I know. I'm still working. Give me a second. This. Copy this because it's fast. It's a +1, not in the seed, but in the gel. I can copy this line because time is going up by 1. And here I will just copy and paste this faster than.
So when do you use the dot? When it's like self?
For the struct, you mean?
Yeah, the dot in front of a keyword. What does it mean?
On the attribute? Ah, yeah, probably is referring to self.
Or is
Somehow.
just for assigning properties, right?
Seems so, at least from what I saw. So, not a lot. And we have the resource gel. Let's be sure that I separate. I have some error somewhere. Stack append. I'm not closing this one. Okay, it was one curly bracket that was gone missing. Let me just close. We have a little bit more space because the font with the font this big is there. Now, will I go in blue screen if I crash? Zig build. Let's see if it builds at least.
Yeah, if it builds, it's a huge
No,
success. Okay,
it's
no.
not building.
Fail.
Good. Fail. That's the problem. We are still not using. What is complaining about? Notice pointless discard of local contacts. Max or. Ah, because he's. Why is that?
Yeah, I gave food to our cat, but I have no idea what kind of food was that.
Ah, because now we are using them, but there are still the underlines. So, oops. Now, build. Okay, stack append start state. Okay, error is ignored. Consider using try catch or if when appending. I saw something like this. Here is catch unreachable. What it means? That we just panic if we are not able to append?
Meaning that it runs out of memory in the
We can
locator?
run out of memory, yeah. Try to add this. Where is line? Was the line? But we did a lot of append, so this will go in multiple places. Let's see. Var. To modify this variable at runtime, it must be given an explicit fixed size number type. Hello, I'm Roberto.
Where are you reading that?
In the console. Can you see my console?
Oh yeah, now I'm seeing the line, the last one.
Modify this variable at
Mhm.
runtime, it must be given an explicit fixed size number type. I mean, it's a U32. How do I tell that is a U32 to Zig?
Yes, variables should be the basic thing, right?
Yeah, it should be the stuff you start with, not with let's do this algorithm with HashMaps sets and we don't know to declare a variable. Yay, variable.
Similar to Rust, so you should do
yes,
semicolon and the type.
Okay, it's not inferring the type then.
Unfortunately not. Or at least not with this syntax. Maybe there is another syntax.
Now, put state. Okay, the same as before. If you run out of memory when you put, yeah.
So this is kind of like when Java complains that you are not catching exceptions, right? It's not that it's necessarily failing right now. It just wants you to do something with the exception.
Okay, all the appends have the same problem, obviously. So let's go take all of them. For now, okay, Google, stop.
Google wants to code in Zig.
I don't know, but recently the Google Assistant is really understanding nothing. It's getting worse and worse every day, understanding less and less. They are removing CPUs. Probably.
It is less annoying than the Java checked exceptions. In which way?
Okay, is compiled. It compiled our library.
Wow. Okay.
1 megabyte.
That's
Now,
amazing.
probably, let's see if it gives us the right result or a result at all. Hello? What's happening?
I hope your laptop is not going to take fire.
Infinite loop. Okay.
Well, doesn't seem like it's doing anything, right?
Yeah, but if it goes in infinite loop, is not good. I mean.
Or maybe our stack doesn't get cleaned up correctly.
Yeah, our while is an infinite while. You see the processor going boom, 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 CPU,
Yes.
everything.
Okay.
We have an infinite loop probably.
Let's not burn
review
energy.
what we wrote. Okay. We do our state ordered remove. And we say while stack items length greater than 0, we loop. We remove from the state. If we already saw the state, we continue. We put the state in the hash map.
Can I see again the while condition? Do we just check the length?
Yeah.
I wonder if the length actually goes down when we remove. If it's like more of a capacity than a length.
I mean, I hope. That's a good question.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try to research it meanwhile.
Okay, I check if I made some obvious error. Let me just review the code. So we continue if this. We get the max, we continue, so we don't. If we reach the time, in theory, we should reach the time limit after a while. Are we adding +1 to all the time limits? Let's see. State +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There is some debug in Zig. Can we print some print or some stuff like that?
So it does update the length. I'm reading actually the source code of ordered remove, and it does internally update the length. So I think the length is not going to be the problem here.
There is a way to debug print. Okay, there was a debug print. Cool. Standard debug print. Typed name. What is typed name?
Type name, I think it gives you the type of a variable.
No, I want to debug the variable itself. So like this. dot curly brackets. What is this syntax?
Yeah, I have no idea what the dot means. Does it mean that it creates like an anonymous struct with just one field?
No idea.
Do you need to recompile?
Oh, yes, you're right. I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. Okay, and now it's complaining that invalid format string for state. Okay, there is something like Q.
Wait, it was giving you some suggestion in the error, did it?
Oh, yeah.
No, but they use this type name and type off.
But
Okay.
well, let's go just with the dot timer. That is an integer, so S is probably not the right complaint. Yeah, S is not for U32. Can be I, be D. Okay, D was better.
Oh, it's doing something now.
Yeah, but what? In theory, when it reached 24, it should stop.
Also, why? Oh, it's not doing a println. It's just.
No, is that they are parallel threads, they are parallel processes, so they go to standard out one on top of each other. Is just a little bit messy.
Should
But
we remove that from Python for now? Just do it in sequence?
yeah, probably is better. Just I'm thinking, can you give me a second? I also like to see this kind of stuff moving.
Meanwhile, we have a comment there saying there is a question mark one you can use. I suppose you mean for the formatting in the print, right? Okay, so it's probably like Rust, that is like the debug way. Zig print formatting.
Yeah, but just make let's make a pool of one process. There is something wrong here in the code then, because it should discard stuff. So let's go and see if we made some error when we were copy and pasting from. Because before it arrived to 24 in this way, it will take forever. Is not. Okay, so is failing at state order remove. We print. If we already saw the state, we continue. I'm not completely sure that this stuff is working.
So it seems the question mark is more for optional types.
I
But
was able to see contains, and now I can't see it anymore. Can we just make a boolean here? Do you mind if I go with a boolean? Because I'm not
I
completely
don't
sure
care. I don't care.
of this boy. True capital T or lowercase t? If it's like C, is a lowercase.
Good question. Lowercase.
Lowercase, thank you. So let's do a state to boolean. Let's look and put in a boolean. So yeah, with less concern. If the state timer is equal to the time limit and we have more gel, the return is that one. Continue. Generation is the maximum between generation and the timer. If the gel of this generation are, let me check the Python code for the Rust code for this. That's the same. And it is if why I have this open. The state timer is the generation and the robots are less than gel. Continue. Okay. Let's try to recompile and see if it was that void problem.
Why do you think it was the void? I would think more that it's a problem in finding the item, like
You
comparing
mean in
if
the
it
key?
contains it or not.
No, I was thinking, okay, you add a key to an hash map with a key and an empty value is not even adding the key. Cool. I don't know if it was making any kind of sense. No,
Meanwhile,
I'm not super sure of that hash. I'm not super sure of that hash.
so we have some comments in the chat. One is that your Zig language server crashed. Is that your Zig language server or is Rust? But anyway,
The Rust analyzer is crash, but who cares?
you can do Ctrl Shift P and you should be able to type Zig there and maybe get something. Language server restart, yeah.
Okay.
And then there is a question saying if we are comparing strings for the HashMap, because that probably can be the problem.
We are comparing strings? What?
No, right? We are comparing objects, not like we are not using strings for the keys. We are
No,
using
for the
dictionary.
keys, we are using this
Structs.
struct. We are using this struct, yeah.
I wonder if we need to make it hashable in some way, like explicitly mark it as whatever.
He's not complaining, so he's building. Yeah, but it seems that this is an optimization to have good performances. I think the problem could be something like this one. This is not really kicking in, and so we are adding too many states, and at this point, and we can see that by debugging if we want. We can debug length, see what it thinks. But they have to compile again. Ah, God, I will remember it one day. Yeah, you see the length of the
it
stuff.
keeps growing.
Yeah, it's getting out of control. In theory, it should shrink at one point. So, yeah, I never saw it going down. But that len is, when you do the remove, the size is going down in theory, or not?
Let me see, zig HashMap.
Let me think if we can make the HashMap simpler, like a mathematical expression. Timer clade, yeah, even if we sum and multiply, we need way more than a U32. What could we use instead of a U32? There is U128 here.
How did you compare with contains, right?
With contains, I was expecting it.
Do you get any documentation if you control click?
Contains, we have the state, self-amendment, contain content. Check if the map contains a key. Seems quite correct to me. Detect if a... no, sorry, what is this? Clobbers, what it means. So it's not put to add to the...
I am seeing put in an example I found. Insert a value.
Yeah.
Also, for some reason, they use a try in front of it rather than using the catch thing, but that's maybe just whatever, semantic detail.
Yeah, clobber any existing data. To detect if the put would clobber existing data, see get or put.
Yeah,
we should never arrive with if the key is already...
We could even use get value rather than contains. So we could split that in 2 lines.
What is get or put? I'm curious. Get or put a key. If a key exists, this function cannot wait. If there is a key, it's not entry point. Okay, what were you saying, Luciano? Sorry?
Get or put is probably like the entry in Rust or the default dict in Python.
Yeah, you were saying to use what?
If you do .get, right? Then you can do an if, you can assign that to something like var existing equal scene.get state. I don't know why in this example they use var, but whatever.
In theory,
now you can do if existing, exactly. But now you can also print existing.
We have to remember to put also, because otherwise, right?
Did we ever do that before?
Yeah, we were doing that.
Okay.
He was thinking is put the right, and also here he was complaining that you have to catch a cold, catch a
yes.
So let's debug if we ever get in.
Sorry, I was ignoring chat. We have a bunch of comments. So it puts the data and overwrites whatever was there. That's what it means by clobbering any existing data. So probably overriding. Okay. And then another comment is that we can add a test at the bottom of the file.
Okay, now he's complaining we can add what?
We can add a test at the bottom of the file, add 2 states with the same data and compare just to see.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what happens there.
Yeah, here is complaining that existing is not a bool, but is a question mark bool.
Oh, it's like an optional type? Oh, look at this weird syntax. Okay, so the way they do it here is if existing as it is, then after the parentheses, they do a space and they put a pipe, V, and then another pipe. So it's probably like, this is probably like an optional type, and this syntax is extracting the value from the optional. So existing is like the container and V is the actual value inside. So probably there you want to use V, yeah. This is the way I'm reading it. And then instead of D, you can use any there in the syntax, in the formatter.
Any?
What? Any, yes.
It compiled, existing, true. So it should have continued if existing is true. So the HashMap is working.
So what else are we doing wrong there?
So this is giving a maximum value of A and B, integer, floats, and vector of either. Yeah, we're comparing the gen and we are assigning back to gen. Okay, that is a var, so it's not the same. Do I need to add additional parentheses here, do you think, or because we have all the condition wrong if I have to?
I wouldn't expect so, because I mean it should work like C, but whatever, worth trying.
Okay, let me remove some debug because the bug are slowing us down when printing stuff. Yeah, there are only those ones. We have more condition, more checks here. I will just try this one. Then for today we can call it a fail. I mean, we can call it a day.
A day, yes.
And it's not terrible, Zig. I would not say that it's terrible. For sure, is the documentation should improve.
Okay, we have
And
another comment there. Let me
more
put it on
interesting
screen.
concept. I made it everywhere.
Line 13, how the HashMap compares keys. I think this gets used for contains. Let's see what's in there.
13 here.
In a file that was mentioned in the chat, get auto hash fn. But I mean, it seems that it's able to find our items, so I think whatever hashing is doing, it is correct. Unless it's getting some kind of random item, but that would be really weird.
Or the remove the index is 0, so it's 0 based. Use size. New len is if new len is equal to y, it pop. Otherwise, it takes the element y, and probably it's this one that is slow. Have you found the cube? Yeah.
But do you think it's just slow, or?
Yeah, I just think it's slow. Yes, because we are using an ArrayList instead of a vector deque.
Okay, the only vector queue I found was a library.
And how do we use it?
Well, we did find some kind of documentation for that. So there is a library that I'm gonna drop here in the chat, which doesn't tell you how you install a library, but I think we had another piece of documentation somewhere else.
Library is called zig-deque. Zig, not zip. My God, I can't write today. So damn. This guy, Marco Mago. Yeah.
Where was my link? I had a link with how to install a Zig package. I might have to search it again.
From the Rust standard library.
Of course, they really like that one.
The syntax here is get dot question mark dot star.
Fancy. I have no idea what that means. Probably it's like blow up any error or something like that.
Yeah, don't look at.
So what's the proper way of installing a library? Okay. Do we have a build.zig file?
Absolutely not. But we can create one.
Because apparently you can just clone that library repo wherever you want, and then we in our build.zig we can specify basically that we have a library with a certain name and where it's the source code. Very manual.
Okay. But we need a build zig. This library has a build zig. Can we take this in the base for our example? File build.zig.
Oh, I found okay, perfect. I found the link.
So let's create a SRC folder and put our code in the SRC folder.
Meanwhile, we are losing MVU1. Thank you for being in the stream. We'll see you in the next one. Yeah, I know. This isn't much fun. This is just, I don't know, two developers getting frustrated at not knowing things.
Why? It's funny. Come on. Standard release option, library, add static library. In our case is x19, and the name is libx19. Set build mode, lib install main test. We don't have tests at the moment. Set build mode.
Yeah, I think we just need to do b, where is it? B add package path, basically.
This guy is not working because I wrote 10 instead of 19.
Wait.
Zig build. What is doing? Okay, it's doing something. Well, it built what it built. Zig out.a.
But why are you doing a static library if you have a binary? Like we are building an executable.
We were building a library. We're not building an executable. If you look at the
because we use it in Python. Okay, fair enough.
Build lib dynamic. So how do we do this in the Zig file? So probably if I do b dot and they still
is there a dynamic library or shared library maybe?
Shared library. Oops. Static library. Shared library. Let's try with shared library. And what it wants, name, root source code. See, is this enough?
There was a type one at the end, but maybe it's optional.
We will find it. Zig build, where is it here? 3 arguments, 2 found. No, it's not option.
Okay, so let's use whatever was suggested before.
Kind. Shared library kind. Zig build file dynamic library. Let's stop to guess and see if we can dash dynamic. Cool. And if we want to do that from the script instead of from the command line, Zig build script add short.
That's exactly what I found as well, and I'm not convinced.
Oh, it takes a moment to fail to try. It did something. What it did? It created libx19. So I have to not write lib here. Okay, again. What should we see? Come on. Die. You can do that. Okay. Now let's point to the file in the folder. So it's zig out/lib/ and see if Python is able again of finding the library, loading it, and executing it. Probably I should have added back the bug. Okay. Now that we have this, at this point we can try to include the deque, right?
So this is still working, right?
If I don't make stupid errors, probably. Okay. We moved our code with a build, and we are building. Cool. Okay.
Okay, so now what you can do next?
Now we want to add that library. You said you have to create a lib folder, you were saying?
You can put it anywhere you want. You can call it lib, I suppose.
Okay.
And then inside this, you can clone the repository. Yeah.
That was which one? It was, I had it somewhere, I lost it.
Now I imagine how the hell that you have to do if you have transient dependencies, but hopefully this library doesn't have additional dependencies.
This one, right? The zig-deque of Magu, whatever.
Yes.
Git clone this guy. And then you say you have to add something to your build script.
Okay, so you have to add, I guess, lib.add package path.
Before the set build mode?
I think so.
Add package path.
And now we need to give it a name, like HashMap, whatever we want to. No, what was it?
The queue is vector the queue, but we have to give up a name that is defined as them, or we can choose any kind of name.
How do they import it here in this example?
Oh, they do zip the queue.
Okay, let's call it like this.
Okay.
And then here you specify the package path, which is lib/ whatever, and then you need to point it to a zig file, so it needs to be the main file there in the library.
Not the build in the SRC.
This guy, source the queue, yeah.
zig-deque. My God, the queue.
It's a dash, right? Yeah. And then source the queue.zig. Typed reflection. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next one.
Bring me some coffee too, please.
Okay.
Okay, so now it should at least build again.
Try if it builds. Yeah, let's try that, and then we can try to use it.
Seems to be able to build. Now, to use it, what was the trick to use it? There is an example in the README. So just create a queue like this. So where is our stack created here? So instead of creating this, we will create our stack as a deque. Is not finding it for some reason.
I think we need to import it anyway, right? Using the name that we specified.
But I don't see any import here.
But
How do you input?
I would expect that the name that we are giving in that file is like the name of the package. So let's call it whatever.
So you are imagining something like this.
I am imagining something like this. Let's see if it makes sense for Zig as well.
I don't know if it makes sense for Zig. Doesn't seem to complain. Let's try a build. He's not liking it. Out of memory. Try. Okay, because let's try with, instead of the try, let's do the catch unreachable, probably. I also have to change the code because it's not append. What is pop front, pushback, pushback. Okay, so instead of append, we have to push back. Every append should become a pushing back and a pop front. Okay. And what is the pop when we do the red? This one is a pop front. I don't know this syntax, what it means, but we'll see how it complains about in a moment. Okay, now pushback error. Well, I declared the wrong type when declaring the queue. It's the queue of state, it's not the queue of integers. Okay, now it's complaining about what?
It's probably not called items.len. It's probably called something else.
Okay, now how do we get the len of this guy?
Is it just .len?
Is the
Do you get some kind of autocomplete, by the way?
a lot? Give me a second. I restart again the language server. The wording, but who cares about the word? Not giving me anything. But they say that the documentation is in the code, right?
Yeah.
So
let's
the wise
do that.
suggestion. Then
zoom it a little bit, please. Perfect.
There is a usize. No, but yeah, this
is just pointers, right?
Yeah. Buffer allocator, capacity, init capacity, the init cap len. There is a function called len directly on the object. Seems is a function.
Looks like a function.
It looks like a function. What is the next error? Parameter type declared here. Scene get state.
Wait, what?
Why before there was not this error?
There is another error before, though, right?
It's not always the problem here.
That get state, why doesn't work anymore?
Well, let's switch back to contains. Scene dot contains our state, because pop front is not giving you back a state. What is giving you back pop front? Haha.
It's giving you some kind of optional, probably.
Yeah, is that on the problem? Yeah, it's giving you a question mark state. Dot question. I'm going with random syntaxes. Unwrap. Yeah, unwrap.
Magic. Okay, you guess what that weird syntax was meaning. Good job.
I cannot open file. Because I'm in the wrong directory. Oops, sorry, too much. He went too much in the Back to the Future. Okay, it's faster. So it was the deque that was, but it's not fast as Rust. That can be because we are terrible at writing. But well, this is not parallel. You have to make it parallel again. Okay. We're almost there, guys. I don't know if somebody's still in the. I don't know if somebody's still in the stream.
We probably killed everyone, but at least we can be happy.
But guys, we know nothing about Zig, and we are able to do something. So miracle. A miracle. It was 29 seconds in pure Python, and probably we are writing a very inefficient Zig code.
But I don't know.
22. Wow, what a gain!
What was it, Rust?
I can't run it because I go in segmentation fault, but I think it was 6 seconds or stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, we're definitely doing something wrong because I was expecting Zig to be faster than Rust.
Yeah. We are definitely doing something wrong, and the deque was one of the first point of one of the first errors. So using an array list is way more inefficient. While using the queue in Python or a list is changing, but it's not changing too much. Seems that in Zig using the wrong data type, being more low level is really different. And yeah, I don't know if we are doing something wrong, to be honest, because I don't exactly know what we are doing. The algorithm is exactly the same, is working, the result is correct. It's taking 22 instead of 29 seconds, instead of the 6 seconds of Rust. But we are better at writing Rust than at writing Zig, for sure.
Yeah, maybe it's the allocator. Maybe there are ways
also,
to...
every run is doing an allocator. We can try to move this outside. No? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see what happens.
If I find a build, okay, let's build again.
I like that it didn't complain, so you can just move stuff outside.
Or can it be CFFI moving data between Python and Zig? But those are integers. It should not be that terrible to just move integers around, even with. Seems faster than before. Was 22 before. What is now?
It's not 6 for sure, but
no, it's not
see.
6 because 6 would already have done. It's again 22. Okay, nothing. It was just but what? Okay, now it's running the pure Python one. Okay, sorry, I uncommented the pure Python. No, still 22. It seemed faster. So doing the allocator in every call inside or doing the allocator outside is changing around now. Okay, well, it's working, guys. It's a little bit faster. Yes, not as fast as we expected. Probably it's because our shitty Zig code.
Yeah.
But we arrived at the end, in the end.
And if you know anything that could be improved, we will be publishing the repository somewhere. If you are watching this on YouTube, there should be a link in the description. So feel free to send us comments, PR, suggestions, whatever. I mean, we are not experts at all in Zig. We literally have 2 hours worth of Zig, like right now.
Yeah.
So definitely there are many things that could be done better.
Probably because it's impossible that this is slow. Managing only integers and a state that basically is a struct of integers with the same exact algorithm and logic that we know can go faster than this.
All right, so let's call it a day for now. So thank you very much for being with us.
The suggestions were very useful.
Indeed. So yeah, keep following us. We might be doing a little bit of a break in the following weeks, but we'll keep you posted on Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. So keep following us and we'll post some news. So see you next time. Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye.